Salut ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim and welcome to this Sounds German review written by Timo of the new Marius Tilly album Words from the Wilderness. Marius Tilly is a German trio named after its band leader and singer who released their first album back in 2012. Starting as a mix between blues and rock, over time they focused more and more on the rock side of their music, with their latest album called Nebula Rising, which was released in 2016. And now, just 2 years later, they're already presenting us their fourth full-length album called Words from the Wilderness. Now, to get this out of the way first, Words from the Wilderness doesn't go back to the band's blues roots and can be best described as an album somewhere between rock, hard rock, and singer-songwriter style with minor blues and even some punk influences. The sound is dry, centering most around simple electrical guitar play, stomping, very dominant drums, underlined with a thick and fast-played bass guitar with sporadically use of a piano or keyboard to enhance the songs, giving them some sort of lightness to counterbalance the heavy character produced by the other instruments. The first track is called The World's End and greets us with a few seconds of ambience. The start has a very ominous and lingering feeling to it, almost a bit spooky. It takes the song nearly a minute to get going properly. Tilly's voice is used with clear, calm and charismatic vocals. All the songs, by the way, are completely sung in English, so you don't have to fear you're not getting something here. The song's groundwork is a heavy bass guitar and occasional soft strumming getting faster and more intense over time. Joined with stompy drums and having an almost hymnic hook, the track's finale is pretty wild with double bass drumming and shouted vocals. Almost all songs are structured like this. It reminds me a bit of Nick Cave in terms of song structuring and music-wise of some beatsteak songs, only in a more polished way. The second track is called Ladder, and that one surprises at the end with some funk and psychedelic rock guitar lines. And the song Back on Track can easily be seen as the main song of the album in my opinion, having the most characteristics of all songs from the album combined into one track. Overall, I would say that Words from the Wilderness has a more serious atmosphere to it than its predecessors, not only in terms of the music, but also when it comes to the lyrics. It has quite a bit of social critique and commentary to it. But I wouldn't say that it's a political album necessarily. However, I can see how some people may connect it to current political themes and events. And even though Marius Tilly just consists of 3 people and not many instruments are featured, they have managed to give each of the songs their own unique character and emotional feeling. Like the laid-back Sold Out, the longing Mr. Kite's Memorial, the upbeat, almost drum and bass like Hercules, or Bank Robber with its slick flair. The more unusual songs would be Are You Ready to Go or the album closer Traveling Boy. Both can be seen as ballads, done in a very cool western cowboy sort of style. Are You Ready to Go has this brilliant gunslinger vibe to it, with a very dark and haunting undertone. Kept very simplistic throughout the whole song with chant-like percussions and an absolute mind-blowing middle part that shows that less can be more. The closing track, Traveling Boy, has a lighter feeling to it and comes off as a light-hearted in the beginning and then slowly turns into dramatic, sad piece in the later parts with some really chilling moments. This album also throws you a lot of curveballs. May it be an abrupt break within a song, switching seamlessly between elegancy and harshness, or having just an ambient interlude between the songs in form of the track The Wilderness to give the listener a little bit of a breather. The strangest example probably would be the track War. I looked forward to it when I started listening to this album, expecting it to be the most heavy and aggressive track on the whole album by song title alone. But then the song started and I heard the most happy and upbeat track with silly synthwork in the background and a happy, jumpy atmosphere to it. At least till the first verse was over. Then it instantly decides to be aggressive and punk-like, with screamed vocals and heavy guitar work, before switching back to the happy mood for a second verse again. This track was just brilliantly composed. I just love these little unexpected parts and details within the songs themselves that help to keep the experience fresh and engaging and basically force you to pay attention to the songs. And before you know it, the album is suddenly over. Time is flying by when you have a good time, or it might be that just all 12 tracks accumulate to just 39 minutes of playtime, and of those, only one song manages to reach the 4-minute mark. I think the short playtime of each song helps the songs to avoid being boring, but the short runtime overall deprives each song also to have its really memorable ideas fully played out. A lot of times you think the songs are starting to build up to something, up to a sort of climax, just to then end abruptly without the satisfaction of having a certain part of a song played out to a length that feels satisfactory. So, in conclusion, I have to say that I liked Words from the Wilderness very much. It follows the path Nebula Rising laid out prior, delivering a solid mix between rock with influences from blues, punk, and funk. It can be seen as a refinement of an established musical formula. Words from the Wilderness gets right into your face, does what it came to do, and it's over before you know it. It has a certain crunch and bite to it, a dry directness enhanced by good, charismatic vocal work and some nifty ideas without inventing the wheel anew. But the direct and bold character of the album also means that I don't see this album as much of a staying power. It's something that you can very much enjoy for the time being without it leaving a long lasting impression, however. If you like a harsher, more Western style influenced Nick Cave, this may be something for you. Fans from Nebula Rising will probably like this output, I'm pretty sure. But fans that were hoping for Marius Tilly to go back to their blues roots will be disappointed. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to Marius Tilly's next output. So, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you didn't like it, we have a button for that too. And if you have listened to this album, feel free to tell me in the comments what you thought about it. And if you want at least one weekly music review from an artist or band you probably never heard about before, just subscribe to the channel. You can also follow Sounds German on Facebook or Twitter. I do usually post daily new music videos on there from all kinds of artists. I hope to see you again next time. Have a nice day. Salida.